All right, so welcome to Roman's Vivid World. This is my first Inktober video. I'll be uploading new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll probably do a special one on Halloween Day, so make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications enabled so you know when my next video hits. I'll be using a Speedball super black ink, standard acrylic brushes, and Pigma Micron fine liners. I picked all this stuff up at Michael's Arts and Craft. My surface, I'll be using 11 by 17 Bristol Board. I think it came in like a 30 pack. So that should get me through the end of the month. I couldn't think of a better way to start this series than with a classic horror movie, An American Werewolf in London. This one came out in 1981. First time I saw it was on VHS tape. Yeah, because I'm that old. It's directed by John Landis. He's the guy that did Blues Brothers, another classic. Love that one. The thing that stood out for me more than anything was the practical effects. They were done by Rick Baker, and that transformation scene alone was amazing. The two main characters in this, David and Jack. Oh yeah, spoilers, because I'm about to give away the story plot right now. But the main characters, David and Jack, they're backpacking through England when they get attacked by a werewolf because they didn't stay clear of the moors, famous line from that movie. Jack is killed, but honestly, he's the best part of the whole movie because he keeps coming back and haunting David, telling him to kill himself before the first full moon. And every time you see him come back, his body keeps decomposing, and by the end of the film, he's nothing but a skull. This was the first movie to actually win an Academy Award for Best Makeup. I know they made a sequel for this, but I never actually saw it. It was like An American Werewolf in Paris, I think is what it was called. And Frank Oz is in this. If you don't know who Frank Oz is, he's Yoda. Everybody knows Yoda. He also did puppeteer work with Jim Henson. Jim Henson Studios. He did The Muppets, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Animal, just to name a few. In this movie, he played Mr. Collins. I don't know which character that was. You're going to have to go back and watch it. In fact, I'm going to have to go back and watch it. There's some really great music in this. I know they play CCR, Bad Mood Rising, play Van Morrison. And when the transformation happens, they're playing Blue Moon by Sam Cooke. I mean, the juxtaposition between that song and the transformation is so perfect because it's not something you would think of listening to when you see something so insane, but it works perfectly. I recommend you watch this, put it on your list for movies to watch this October. So, remakes are a big thing. But when it comes to classics like this, I do prefer they don't remake it. I mean, you can't really top it. It's a classic. Don't really see how you could do any better than this. Lightning in the bottle. I know that's a phrase used a lot about classic movies. But I know that Robert Kirkman, the guy who did The Walking Dead, was in talks about a reboot of this. I like Robert Kirkman. I loved The Walking Dead, more so the comic than the TV series. I did like the TV series, but I think it maybe has just been on a little too long, and I think they're on their final season, if I'm not mistaken. But I would still prefer that they just kind of leave these classics alone. I know they have made remakes of a lot of horror movies from the past. Nightmare on Elm Street comes to mind. That one was forgotten about pretty fast, and people definitely don't forget the original. So, all right, well, that was my quick little commentary for An American Werewolf in London. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you're a fan of 80s horror movies, much like this one, I have more coming up for the month of October, so stay tuned.